Hi friends. This video has been a long time in coming. Well, maybe not very long, but long enough for those of you who have been waiting. Father Colin and I introduced adoration coming into our parish a couple weeks or maybe a few weeks ago. And since we introduced it, we've been receiving many questions. What exactly is adoration? What do I do during that time? How does it work? So Father Colin and I have decided to find different ways of sharing snippets of information to prepare you for adoration. Well, and even before preparing you, to explain to you a little bit more about what adoration is and how you can benefit from it. Okay, so first thing, what is adoration? How does it work? Okay, we have the house of prayer, which is right next to the playground on the school's property. So that house of prayer has a tiny, beautiful little chapel. And in that chapel, as in all Catholic chapels, you'll find the tabernacle that has the Eucharist in it. So we have the tabernacle in the main church, we have the tabernacle in the house of prayer. And normally, when there's a time of adoration, on the altar, there is a large gold crucifix. And in the center of that crucifix, instead of looking at an image of the body of Christ that is normally on the cross, in the center of that crucifix is a large circle, a glass encasement where we're able to see the Eucharist. And in the Eucharist, we believe there is the body and blood of Christ, our God who came to earth, stayed with us in the Eucharist. Now, that is one form of adoration. I'm sure even if you have not participated in praying in that way, that you have at least seen pictures or recognized that. And that gold cross that holds the Eucharist is called a monstrance. That is one version of being able to what we call expose the Blessed Sacrament. Why expose? Because Jesus Christ is normally in the tabernacle, right? And when you go into church, you'll see when you enter the tabernacle, it's there in the back, and the doors are closed. You can't see into the tabernacle. Yet we believe that Jesus is there. The other option of adoration is that the doors of the tabernacle are open, and there is also you will be able to see a circular glass encasement in which the Eucharist is exposed. Okay, so this is the first concept to understand, that Jesus, who we believe and we know is there in the Eucharist, that rather than just looking at the gold tabernacle, we're able to see Jesus a little bit more closely, to put us in contact, to give us this opportunity to pray with him as we say face to face here on earth, right? Which will look different when we enter into heaven. But in the meantime, this is the reality that we have Jesus in the Eucharist. So the time of adoration is literally the moment when the Eucharist is exposed on the altar in the form of a monstrance or through the tabernacle, and that we are there in prayer, in conversation with the Lord in the Eucharist. That's our first lesson on what adoration is.